What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. And now that the Safari Zone has been out for a while, or I guess the Critter Safari, some routes and strats have come out, and I wanted to just make this to talk about some of those and to probably learn as well. So we're just gonna head right into a Safari, and I don't really care about the experience because not really going to be going for much here, but I will be assuming that you're doing this in a party of 4. You're going for a max Bestiary, and why I say this is because if we look at the Bestiary, the hardest ones to finish is actually in the hideyho, because there's only one of the hideyho in each one and you need 75, meaning the minimum runs is 75. Therefore, that means that you don't have to get the birds every run, because you can see that even though I'm not maxed all of them, my birds are already maxed, and that's without even going for them in particularly. So starting off with the actual roles that people should take, I've seen many at the start where people just pick one for perm or they go by their hotspot, but personally I found the one that I like the most is to actually do a 2-person cavern, 1 ice and 1 haunted. How this works is there'll be 2 people in the cavern and 1 person does the top section and 1 person does the bottom section. 1 person will do the entire ice section and 1 person will do the entire haunted section. Then everyone converges at the 4th section and finishes this, because everyone will have seeds at the end which they can do birds all together. Hence why you don't have to wait for everyone to do their birds, because there will be enough. So starting off with the cavern section, we're going to do the top route first, and the way I would do this is, well, I'd go to the top first. And one thing I should note is these critter capsules will return to you no matter what, so you shouldn't be afraid to just spam it at something. If you see something in the distance, just spam it because you'll get them back, and if you miss one, then it's whatever. But more on this later, because some mobs will actually flee if you spam too many, so don't do that. And I'm also going to be assuming that you have a master ball. While you're up here, you should get the driftlings, and again, you don't have to get all of them. As long as you get maybe 3 or something like that, then you're good. And also the way Scrappy works is there will be 3 of them that spawn in each cavern, and each of them will want a different ingredient, whether that being the wheat, the lily pads, or the fish. And in this case, we're just going to get 4 wheat and 4 lily pads and use the master ball for the last one. So come up here, get 4 of those, and then get 4 of the lily pads, because the fish takes a bit longer. And then once you're done here, if there's no Scrappy there, you can occasionally, if you want, you can make your way around to the back to get the Scrappies. But again, Scrappies are not the limiting one, so if you want fast runs, I would just skip it if it's not here. There might be Scrappy spawns down there, but we're not sure. So from here, what I'd do is I'd probably jump to here, and then I'd go over here into the cavernfish place, and then I'd get all the mobs in here. Flitters suck. Oh my gosh. Flitters and rock mites suck. So just spam like crazy. And then for these guys as well, just get all of the cavernfish. Nothing too crazy here. And once you're done with this, you can head down here and look for the Scrappies. There's Scrappy here, so I'm going to try the wheat. Doesn't like it, master ball, because we know that's going to take the fish. That's pretty much it for the cave top, which means after this, you'll want to be picking up floor drops on the way and to try to fill in the gemsies, because if you can get it early, then that will be great, and that will change how the roles play. With cave bottom, you'll just be going in here and then getting the rock mites. There should be shy worms. You're going to want to throw those off the jump, because if you get too close, they'll get startled, and if you miss, they'll get startled. So that's a tough one right there. And then break the rock mites. And here is where the next tip comes in handy, is that the critters will spawn not where the capsule is, but exactly where they were. So what I like to do is, if I see it red, I'll instantly throw a capsule where it was. So for critters like the rock mite or the hide on floor, where their movement is kind of weird, you can catch them instantly just by spawn camping. Now the flitters, again, just spam like crazy. Same with the shy worms. And I'll come around here breaking it, and off the start, there's going to be a bunch of floor drops here, which will give me gems, and I'll try to put them here, so if cave top comes down earlier, then they can fill it in, and that will transfer to later as well. So then afterwards, I'll go down. Don't have to take that path if you want to get the floor drops. And I'll break the rock mites as well. Then I'll usually head this way and do a sort of sweeping pattern, either right or left. And then we'll get the chuck wallas. Another thing to note is just to keep in mind the pities. For common, it's guaranteed, for uncommon, it's 2 throws, and for rare, it's going to be 3 throws. If you instantly hit a common, or you know you're on your second and third throw for uncommon and rare, then you can just start running and not wait for it to catch because you know it's going to catch. Things like this will just save a little bit of time here and there, but it adds up. So you can see with the Rockmite that I'm just going to be spamming there, so if it comes out like that, it'll instantly go back into the capsule, so I don't have to chase it again. And for these walls here, it's better to actually hug onto a wall or keep running forward at it. If you have any Y change or you're not on the ground, you're gonna go flying, and that's gonna add a bit more time. So if I see a wall like this, I'll like run to the wall, so you can see I only got launched back a little bit. And same with these ones. I'll run here, and you can see that I barely get knocked back, which makes opening this wall just a little faster. For the chuck walls, there isn't really a strat, but for this spot specifically, where it's in front of the water, you can go in here and you'll notice that it's in a way that you can actually aim at the back, so you don't even have to go all the way. You can just stand here and get it, and once again, when you're on the third one, you can just start running out instantly because you know it's going to catch. Splitters, unfortunately, there isn't really a strat. You just go crazy once again. The general path is a loop, and again, another snoozle here. Oh, I messed that one up. But once you come back here, this is where you kind of have to decide if you have enough gems, if Cave Top has gone to Gemsy or not. If Cave Top has gone for Gemsy, then what I'll do is I'll just run here. I might get the snoozle or this chuck wallow. Again, it really depends on your bestiary, because if you have a lot of chuck wallows and that's what you're going for, you don't have to get every single one, and you'd want to optimize for speed. Then what I'd do is I'd run through the middle here and go up these set of stairs. Once you're at these set of stairs, you'll notice that it goes straight to the forest biome, so you don't have to really run out much, and that's kind of the path for that. Say this isn't the case and you're back here and Gemsy isn't done, then I will go up top and try to finish Gemsy. Again, if Cave Top passes by here and has some gems, place them in here just so that the other person can fill it in. And then once this is done, this is just as simple as catching these. Now for Cave Bottom, there isn't really a specific mob that I'd use Master Bowls on, so maybe I'd save them for Macaws if you get them. And depending on who enters Forest first will also have changes to your rolls, so the first person to enter should probably get Fox shots, if possible, but they shouldn't worry too much about the critters here, because since they're first, they want to optimize for catching birds, so they'd go up, maybe knock a bit of hives on the way so that the other people don't have to. And if something's in the path, throw a couple ones there. Since these take time, you'd want to get one in there as soon as possible before the next people come. Otherwise, if you have 4 people standing here, all with like 4 berries, then that's going to take forever. Whereas if the first person comes here, they can just start spawning the birds. They don't even have to catch them. Then after all the birds are spawning, you go do whatever. Let's say you're the second person coming in here now and you see that someone's already there. Then what I'd probably do is I would go around getting all the fox shots, and you don't necessarily have to run around. You can also wait for the fox shots there, which probably is a better option. Again, depends on preference, but I'd probably wait somewhere around here, get the capsules, and then start heading up. But this time, since there's already someone getting the birds there, I could take a little longer to go around catching the honey bugs. Maybe if there's a couple woodchuckers here or hide on floors, I'd go for those as well. But then eventually I'd make my way up here to place my things in the bird feeder. So the second person should get here around when the first person is done with the bird feeder. If not, things will probably change based on RNG. Maybe the first person won't have anything. Then in that case, the first person, if they don't have any seeds, they can start clearing things earlier. It just depends if someone's at the bird feeder or not. But this is why it's designed to have forest at the end, so that everyone has already collected all their own floor drops, so that they all have the bird seeds instead of going back and forth. And now let's say you're at the third person here, you see someone up there and you see someone clearing the bottom or someone's running up there, then what I'd do in this case is clean up any final mobs that are here, and then I'd go to the back and go to the bottom of forest to get the fluffings. At this point, if you've timed it right, the second person will also be getting their birds around this time, and you can have a little bit of spare time to get these extra mobs down here. If not, there's always a fourth person. Once you're done with those fluffings, you'd head back to the start and also go up to place your things in the bird feeder. The order that I predict the people should come in here is probably ice first, and then the 2 caves, and probably haunted last, as that one probably takes the longest. So then if you're the final person coming along, you really have to see what is at, and it's probably a good thing keeping in mind. What I'll try to look for is the fluffing message. If I see someone has caught the fluffings, I won't go back there because, you know, I know they're gone already. But if not, then I'd go back there and get those. And then you just head up here, because by now, since there's 3 people here already, they probably should have gotten the majority of the critters. Which, again, if you're going for Bestiary, you don't have to get all of them unless they're the Billy Goat, Gazer, or Hideyho. Now, a thing with the tree frogs is these guys will move if you get too close or if you throw a critter capsule nearby. So for the tree frogs, what I'll tend to do is I'll actually make sure that I have a good spot to get them at, because if I spam these guys, then I'm probably not going to get that. Usually this involves getting to some sort of vantage point and looking around for mobs. Again, hitboxes are very nice to keep on, so if I see one there, I'll try to aim, but I didn't. And then instead of spamming, I'd actually try to aim. These guys, it's whatever. And there's also gonna probably be hives here and maybe even some mobs there. So now there might actually be some hives or some mobs over there. And the best way I found to go over there is to jump from this block to that leaf block over there. And then onto here. And then you can easily access these hives, as well as the mobs. And like the rock mites, these guys will run if you get too close. So after the first throw, if I see it fail, I'll instantly throw another one, but luckily that one didn't. But you should just always keep that in mind, so if it does fail, then you won't have to chase it around. Next, let's talk about haunted. Now, the haunted one has been a pretty normal route for now. What I'd do is I'd go in here, and typically the hide on wall spots are the same, so you can really just throw a capsule there. You don't even have to go in, so you can just throw it there. And again, since it'll run away from you, it actually shouldn't really run much, but you can just throw your critters again. And it's good to just know where the spots are, but you can see that little arrow poking out. But if we just run around these paintings, see that there's nothing here. Now, litter bugs actually take quite a long time, because A, waiting for them to come out, and also trying to get them because they'll be around the entire place, and like that is hard to catch. So you kind of have to wait in a single spot, which is annoying. So sometimes people leave this for the end. If people are done first, maybe they'll come back. But again, not the worst mob in terms of Bestiary. I'll then probably go up because the basement has the gimme coins, because the basement has the gimme golds, and you'd want to get as many floor drops as you can before you go there. And next up is the hideyho, and this guy actually has a cheese. If you find him, he'll give you his typical prompt, and what you can actually do is just spam him before he teleports, and if you click fast enough, then it'll count as you finding him. I found him instantly in 0 seconds, and that will speed up it a lot. Now, gazers is another one that is very important, and you should, if you're doing haunted, always get the hideyho and 2 gazers every run. Those are the most important ones. For these guys, you can go in the bed and just leave right away, and then once the thing turns dark, you can see it'll spawn. And these guys, I'll typically throw 2 right after each other, so when one wakes up, the next one will hit it instead of chasing it around. And again, I'd throw more there, but I'm kind of out of capsules, so that's tough. Aritas, just go up here, cast them, very simple. Same with the duplicos, punch them. Overall, it's pretty simple for the haunted biome, just a couple optimizations here and there. And then after you're done with the top, you'd go back down here and toss your shiny coins. Or alternatively, you can go out here, and since you have to get more for the warden, you can come back afterwards. Really depends, and it's up to you. Same with these guys, you can kind of just spam your capsules at it and hope that one of them catches it. But then if you don't have enough soothing essence, then you should probably take a run around the actual house, collect those, and then go down to the doom spell, which you should use the master ball for. Once you place the 4 candles in, that's it. So in summary, for the haunted, what I do is I'd go around. In summary, what I'd do is I'd go around and then I'd look for the hide on walls, and then I'd go here, maybe get a litter bug or 2. Then after checking these rooms out, I'm also looking for the hideyho in the meantime, and the hideyho can be here. So if you do pass by here, make sure you glance here. And then I'd go up and sweep all the rooms again, because again, hideyho is very important. Get the gazers, aritas, and I believe hideyho can also be in here, so this is worth checking. And then once you're done everything, again, you can optionally go for the warden first, or you could go down for the gimme golds, because these are some of the easiest ones to max. I think this was one of the first B series to max, so it doesn't really matter. Now let's move on to the ice section. This one should be the quickest one. We're gonna go up here, and as we're going up, you should always be spamming your capsules at critters if you do see them. Even if they're not part of the route, it just makes things a little easier so you don't have to do as many when you come back around. Once you get over here, since I have icebreakers this time, which should be normal because I always have so many icebreakers when I spawn here, I'd go over here, and then I'd go into this water right here, start throwing them, capture all the shutter squids. And again, you don't need all the shutter squids, but the shutter squids should not be very hard to catch anyways. Go up here. And then I would get those, and I can't tell if that's the billy goat. That is a billy goat back there. So you can see that it spawned in this area, but typically it should spawn there or on here. If it does spawn weird, then just go out and get it. And then once you're done with that, jump back down here and go into the water. And here I'll typically slowly submerge and try to throw things everywhere. The mantis shrimp are very easy to max again, and they'll always spawn that area. And something to keep in mind is to watch your cold. Mantis shrimp are always going to be at the bottom in the same spot, so you can go there. And I would slowly be making my way towards this air pocket here so that I could get rid of the cold. And typically I'll just start heading out at around like 20 cold, because most of the critters should be gone by now. And if not, you can always make another pass on here. I find that the nozzle noses actually take a lot of catches to get, which is kind of frustrating. But again, if you need more time, then you can take more time. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's just that when you die, if you lose your master ball or like 20 capsules, it can be pretty annoying if you don't have enough at the end. But the main thing is that you get the billy goat. That is the most important thing for this place. And optionally, when you're running up, you can also look for that one right there. So once you're done with that, that should be all the mobs. So then once you finish that, you should get the sound of the Wumpa and the chat message. If not, come up here, get the Polarises, then just throw a capsule at the Wumpa, let it hit the wall, and master ball it. Don't stand here before the Wumpa dies, because if you do, that cave will change and you'll get trapped, and that's a death. Trust me, it's happened to me before. And that is ice, so it should be pretty fast. Just to recap, you go up here, get the strong arms, go up there into the shutter squid, and then up there to the billy goats and the more of the strong arms. Then you jump down and watch your cold. Optimally, you try to reset your cold around the shutter squid part, but it really depends on your cold resistance and where you're at. Then once you reset your cold, go into the water and head towards the bell and the air pocket over there. Come back out, and then once you're done this, go up there, get the Polaris and the Wumpa, and that should be ice. So this one should be pretty fast. I think around 2:30 to 3 minutes is probably something that's decent for this place. And then afterwards, you head over here. Once again, first person in here. If there's mobs nearby, go for them, but that's not your priority, because if you do have bird food, which I don't in this case, then you would make your way up here. So in this case, if I don't have bird food, then what I'd probably do is, holy, that brother tripping. is to go around and get the critters, but also break the floor drops, because these will give me a whole bunch. And based on how many you have, if you have like 3 or 4, then you should just start heading up, because that's enough where the other people can also get floor drops if they need. But if you spend too much time breaking them, then those people will come and it'll just be stacked here, and you want to avoid that. Optionally, if there's shining coins, you can go to haunted, but gimme golds are once again super easy to max, so you don't really have to do that. Second person, if they see the person is already up there, we'll go for some of the basic critters up here, maybe floor drops if there are any, and head their way to the bird feeder. Third person will come here and try to go for the mobs as well, and take some more time to go to the back and get the fluffings, as well as cleaning up any floor drops and little mobs that are seen around here. Fourth person should also come around here, and here's where you have to use your judgment, because if everybody is done the bird feeder, then you should go for the bird feeder right away. But if there are a lot of people around the bird feeder, then you're going to want to go around to the sides and get any of the critters there. If you're done with the bird feeder and there are no birds there, then you should probably move aside just so people can tell. Maybe there should be a spot, or you could just catch the birds from afar. I don't know. But you really have to use your own judgment to tell. It would be nice if there's a text there saying like, oh, waiting on bird or something. And finally, to recap cave. Cave top will go up there, get driftlings, 4 of the wheat, 4 of the lily pads, and try to get the scrappies if there are any up there. Then they'll jump down to that place over there and go into the cave to get the cavern fish and a flitter occasionally. Then they'll come down and get the scrappies and master ball the scrappy that wants to fish. Then they'll come up here, and if they can, get the gemsies or place as many gems as they can. Then they'll head over to forest. For cave bottom, they'll come down here, get the shy worms, get rock mites, place gems right away, and then they'll head down here to get the snoozles, the chuckwallas, the flitters, the shy worms as well, and just anything that's left behind. And that wraps up the routes and optimizations for the general part. But there's another thing that I thought about today, and that is that because Hideyho, Gazer, and Billy Goat takes so long, I thought about why not doing runs that are just called BGH runs. Billy Goat, Gazer, Hideyho runs. Because if people are going for max Bestiary and those are the last ones, then it would make sense to only go for those, because you don't need the other ones. Your shards will be maxed, your milestones will be maxed, and unless there is some other reason like maybe hunting XP or shiny hunting, then this is the way to go. And essentially how this would work is you instantly just have 3 people go into the haunted biome, and you have 1 person go into the ice. What the ice person will do is pretty similar as before. They'd climb up to the top and get the billy goat. This should not take too long, because even if the billy goat isn't there, it'll be in the general area, so you don't really have to go too far. And next, what the haunted people are going to do is they should also probably assign if they're Gazer or Hideyho. But I think if someone spots the Hideyho right away, they should go for it. So I think maybe 1 person should go down here. 1 person should be assigned to go down here and check the bottom, and the 2 people should go up top to the Gazers, and 1 person will go to this bed, and the other person will take a right here and go to this bed. And if they spot the Hideyho, then they should go for the Hideyho. If there's a mod that could like automatically ping the waypoints of the Hideyho, that'd be really nice, or maybe have a waypoint command for that. But 2 people go for the Gazers and 1 person would go for the Hideyhos. This should make really fast runs to max out the last bit of the Bestiary, because if you're doing full runs for just those Bestiary, then it might take a little bit longer. But I don't know, maybe there's a reason this hasn't been done, and if so, let me know. But I feel like when I finish the Bestiary, I'm just going to be doing solo runs or runs where I just go for these 3 critters, because these will take the longest. That's pretty much it. This is just another variation of runs that I've seen people do, and these routes are definitely not the perfect routes. Please do give me feedback and let me know if you have any changes that you would like to be made, and I will do my best to make a note of that in the description or in a pinned comment. And as always, if I miss something, please do not hesitate to let me know as well and call me out in the comments for it. But for now, that's everything, and I hope you have enjoyed. See you in the next one.